back. So for today we have a lesson which is about the differences between the where and how. When do we use them, the scope, the time of execution, and can we use aggregation functions in both of them. We have here a question which is, show me which country have over 1,500 in total sales, but only count individual sales that were bigger than 500. So we have two conditions here. We have the first one, the total sales should be greater than 1,500, and also individual sales for each customer should be greater than 500. So in this case, we are going to be using both where and having. But there are, as we said, differences between both of them. When do we use them and what is the effect that they make in the query? So let's start. First, when we execute, we are going to be using this one, and here it is going to be customers. Okay. And here we are going to be using select country sales from customers. But before we apply the aggregation, like the sum or the having, we need to put a condition, which is where sales greater than 500. And why was sales greater than 500? Because where we use it when we want to filter the data row by row. So where is filtering? When we use where, it is filtering the data row by row before any aggregation, before any grouping, before anything. Just filter the rows. Is this row apply or agree to the condition? If yes, we extract it or we call it. If no, we ignore it. Okay, as a whole column, a whole row. So what will happen now when we write this way? It is going to come, SQL is going to come to the first cell or the first row and see, does this row apply the condition? Yes, it is greater than 500. So we are going to extract this row or the values that we care about, because we want the country and the sales. So we have country and we have also the sales. So it's gonna be like this one. Okay. And then it is going to go to the next one. Does it agree with the condition in the where? Yes. So it is going to call it. And so on. It is going to go step by step to call all the rows that agree with the where clause. So we have the US here, and we have even Canada, and they are going to be called. But when it reaches to this one, to the UK, Edward, no, it doesn't agree to the condition in the where clause. So this one is going to be ignored, okay? And go to the next one. Does it agree? Yes, it agrees. So we are going to call it. So this is the result that we have after using or applying or executing the where clause. Okay, after executing the where clause, we are not done yet. We still have some steps. Okay, we still have some steps. The next step is group by and apply the aggregation. So we have the UK or the US, they have the same country, so we need to apply the aggregation, which is sum. We need to sum this one 1,020 to 700. So we need to sum them because they have the same country. Other countries, they don't have the same country because UK here was ignored. So we have this one So what will happen is going to aggregate 700 and 1000. So the result is 1900. So this is the result after the aggregation and also the grouping. Now the last step is having. The condition that we have in the having greater than 5000. Is this greater than 5000? 500, 500, 1500? Yes. So if yes, we are going to extract it, or we are going to call it. If no, ignored. No, ignored. No, ignored. So we only have this one. So this is the order that the query will be executed by. First, we call the data. Second, we use or we filter the rows by the where clause. Then we group by country, and also the aggregation. The last thing that we have, filter the resulted aggregation or the resulted data from the aggregation and grouping. And we have the result. So as the scope, so for the scope, we said the where clause, for it filters row by row. Does this agree? Yes. Call it. Yes. Call it. No. Ignore it. Okay? About the time of execution, as we said, this is the first one. And then the grouping and the aggregation. And the last thing is the having. Having will be executed on the resulted data after the aggregation and the grouping. Use aggregation, yes, we can use aggregation in having, but we cannot use aggregation in where. Why? Because where we use it to filter each row. We cannot aggregate the row by itself. We cannot say sum the row by itself or average of the row by itself. No. So we cannot use aggregation for where, but we can use it for having. So this is how, or what is the difference, or what are the differences between where and having. Let's go to the VS Code and apply what we learned. So now we are going to apply it step by step as it is executed. The first thing we have is the country, and also we have the sales. Okay? So this is the result. After that, what will happen is the where clause, because we want to filter according to the condition that we have here. Individuals should be greater than 500. So here we have where sales greater than 500. So as you can see here, we are going to miss the UK because 400 is less than 500. Control E or Control E. So where is the other UK is gone because less than 400. And now we are going to apply the calculations, or apply the aggregation and also the grouping. The aggregation here, it's going to be sum for the sales. Okay? And we can try to make it as clear as possible in this way. Like, okay? And after the where, we are going to use group. Since we apply already the aggregation, so group by country. So now we have the group by the country. The last thing that we have, or let's just execute it. And as you can see here, we have UK, US, US before executing the group by. Now when we execute the group by, we have only one US because they are grouped and aggregated. The last thing that we have is having, putting the condition for the data that we have, or the resulted data. The condition is some sales should be greater than 1,500. Control E. We have here the result. So the result is what is the US 5,500. So this is like the steps that the SQL query will be executed, and the differences between where and having.